All right, guys, we're going to talk about a case study today, 834 font. This is one that you did, Tim, right?
That is correct.
Awesome. Let's jump right in, guys.
834 font was brought to me by a wholesaler. They know that I deal exclusively in low-end property and that I would have no problem taking over this endeavor. So I was just dropped off. The key piece, why did I choose this property? It's located about 4 blocks from my house, and I knew that I would have to be doing a majority of the rehab, and I am very good at really doing a rehab on a dime. So just a quick part about this, the property is located in St. Louis, Missouri. It's a lower end area. Values range between $25,000 to $55,000 on the after sold property purchase. I bought it through my company name. I was doing business structure. I have an LLC that's taxed as an S Corp.
That's the headache-free properties.
Headache-free properties,
Cool.
yes. And I knew that I could do it on a fix and flip because I was going to make it a turnkey property and sell to an investor that I had in pocket.
So that was your original plan.
That was my original
buy
plan.
it, fix it, rent it, turnkey, sell it.
Exactly.
Okay. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
He works for Monsanto. He's an excellent investor. He doesn't like to do any work, and he's not very hands-on. So this fit what he was looking for. So a wholesaler called me. I bought it. It was close and cheap. I had an end buyer in my pocket, and estimated repairs somewhere between $10,000 to $12,000, and I was going to profit $10,000 to $12,000.
Sweet.
On this deal,
That's awesome.
I don't go to the banks. All of my deals tend to be with not hard money lenders, but partnership money.
Private financing for the most
Private
part.
financing. I used to
Okay.
do securities, and I learned how to transfer people's money from their IRA or
Love it.
an asset that they weren't using, and move it to a self-directed IRA. Now, the individuals that I partner with on this deal, they have no clue about real estate. They trust me, and when I do the deal, they deposit all 100% of the money in my account from day one.
So you get all of it in
All
the
of it.
beginning.
In the beginning,
Purchase, rehab, everything.
everything.
Man, that's awesome.
It's called overfunding, and I had to teach the title company how it works. But basically, in a sense, you create one transaction, and the whole deal is tied to
You had to teach the title company?
yes, the
I
deed.
love it. I
So then
love
you
it.
just have one deed. You don't have to go back put an additional deed, but all the money is protected from my investor, and that's what I was concerned
By the
about.
property.
By the property.
Okay, cool.
So that just made it the simplest way to do it.
Cool.
So it was about a 90-day rehab flip. I started it end of September, so basically November, January, December. During the holidays, I had a nice little project to do. Purchased for $10,000 roughly, and sold it for $39,000.
So you had net profits of $10,237.
$10,000 in 60 days,
Woo!
and it's
Man,
4
that's
blocks from my
awesome.
house.
So you just walk down there.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
awesome. Let's talk about renovations.
Renovations. Well, it's a basic property. It was trashed out. I could see through the windows that.
Well, I just saw the pictures, and we're going to get to that. But
Woo,
man,
yes.
this thing was trashed.
It was nasty. It had been sitting there maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But most things on a turnaround, you got to paint the walls, you got to refinish the floors.
Right.
The piece that you're looking for is all the major systems would be in working order.
That's a big thing, right?
If that's
You're going
not,
to spend 10 grand on that alone if,
yes,
if they
easy.
aren't.
So I roll the dice. I'm a bit of a risk taker.
Me too.
We talked about how I got started. I just kind of jumped off the mountain and thought that I could build some wings along the way.
That's how you got to do it. Right.
Sometimes you just got to jump in.
Right.
But that's how we did it. So about $10,000 in repairs. I was going to act as a general
Let
contractor.
me back up for 1 second real quick.
Sure.
So your estimates were 10,
Yes.
and the estimate fix was 90. You ended up spending 12.8, and you were at 120. So that's not bad at all. You were
No.
a little over on both your repairs and your time, but not crazy amounts.
No.
You know, that's awesome.
And it was a holiday season.
It's the holiday season, of course, so it doesn't matter. Awesome. Cool. Renovation continued. Let's see what we got here.
So the construction process was very basic. It's something that I can do one of these in my sleep because it was only maybe 1,000 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. A lot of materials I had on hand. I have a 4-car garage that I have extra material. So when sometimes I take out a rehab, I have cabinets left over, a tile or whatnot.
You save that stuff,
I save it.
and then you just use it on different projects.
Different projects.
Man, that's
Works
so
out
smart.
Beautiful.
That's so smart. I love that.
So that's kind of the plan that I had in place, and I knew that I could get a lot of materials, from storage.
Right. Now, Tim, you're not in these properties working.
I am sometimes. This one I was.
This one you were, okay. But you have GC here, and you turned it over to the GC. So essentially,
I did this one
Oh,
myself.
you did this one yourself. Okay,
I controlled all
So
the
you
different
were the
pieces.
GC.
I was a GC. I
Okay.
did different pieces since it's close to my house.
Right.
And I had a buyer in pocket and I had the money. Those are just kind of like, this is called tuition money house.
Okay.
This is a tuition house.
Pays
had-
for some school.
I had 3 girls in college,
Right.
and I knew this would be close, and it's a quick flip, and I had a buyer, so I'll do this one myself.
Right.
But there's other ones that I general contract out to that are $30,000, $40,000
Of course.
rehabs.
Of course.
It's a little bit.
But this
more
is a
involved.
smaller purchase, a smaller rehab. So you just did a lot of this on your own.
Yep.
That's awesome. So you sold it. Tell us about that.
Oh man, it was great. The investor that I had already purchased another property of mine, so I knew his price points. I'd already introduced him to my banker,
Okay.
so I already knew that she would approve his loan based on the value that I purchased it for. The additional,
Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to repeat that. So you went into this with the investor in mind from the beginning. So you had your exit before you even purchased.
yes,
Am I getting that right? I just
Yes.
want to clarify. That's amazing. That's awesome. So you went and found the property, and because you had a guy that said, I want a rental, and then you just did all the work to get it to where it needed to go, and then you sold it to that guy.
correct.
Love it.
Great
Love it.
summary. Great summary.
Okay, cool.
And since I had already introduced him to my banker, and the banker knew me from years of doing rehabs,
Of course.
she trusted the rehab that I had done.
Sure.
The price points were consistent with that neighborhood,
Of course.
and basically marked it up $12,000 to $15,000. The appraisal was going to hold,
Mhm.
so there wasn't any surprises that I anticipated coming back.
Right.
He had already shifted his money over from his IRA in order to be able to purchase this, so
Mhm.
I knew that all the pieces were in place. The only situation I had to clear was the occupancy permit, which in this city is one of the toughest
Mm-hmm. It's tough up
inspectors
there,
there
yeah.
is. And he was on his final days of inspecting. I believe this is the last property he inspected for me
Before you retired? Or?
before he retired.
Oh, wow.
And you just got to know what he looks for. In this particular area, you got to paint the fence. You outside it had
He's
asbestos.
meticulous.
Oh yes, he had asbestos shingles on the outside, so I had to make sure everyone had no chips in it. And we'll talk about some of the snafus that happened on the exterior
Mhm.
that I will account for when we go to the construction piece.
That's
But
awesome.
it worked out perfect.
Cool. Well, guys, stay tuned. In the next couple videos here, we're going to look at some pictures before, middle of the project, after the project. We're going to take a look at the closing statements, and then we're also even going to get into your repair estimate sheet.
Yes.
And we're going to look at what you had budgeted, what you had spent, and really break down this case study for you guys so you can get the entire picture. So stay tuned for the next video, guys. Thanks.